Hello everyone, I'm back with my next episode of Wednesday series Wow session, that is Words of Wisdom. And today we have a very inspiring character, that is J.K. Rowling. Joanne Rowling, born on the 31st of July 1965, better known by her pen name J.K. Rowling, is a British author and philanthropist. Here we can see her childhood house that she had later bought, and she started staying in her childhood house. Born in Gate, Gloucestershire, Rowling was working as a researcher and bilingual secretary for Amnesty International when she conceived the idea for Harry Potter series while on a delayed train from Manchester to London in 1990. The 7-year period that followed saw the death of her mother, birth of her first child, divorce from her first husband, and relative poverty until the first novel in the series, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, was published in 1997. J.K. Rowling has her own viewpoints which really inspire many of us. Let us see what she says. You control your own life. Your own will is extremely powerful. In other words, she wants to say, never be dependent on anyone. Be an independent self. Control of your life should be in your hands. There are 6 sequels, of which the last was released in 2007. We are talking about Harry Potter series. Since then, Rowling has written several books for adult readers. The Casual Vacancy, that we can see in the picture below, was published in 2012, and under pseudonym Robert Galbraith, the crime fiction Cormoran Strike series. In 2020, her political fairy tale for children, the is the Ikabok, was released in installments in an online version. Harry Potter was a great work, and we can see how J.K. Rowling worked so much. She used to make handwritten notes, and then she used to work on everything that she was writing. We can see she has made tables of the title, of the plot, of the prophecy, everything. A lot of hard work she used to do this way. Rowling has lived a rags to riches life. That is, from zero to on the peak, to be on the top life, in which she progressed from living on benefits to being named the world's first billionaire author by Forbes. Rowling disputed the assertion, saying she was not a billionaire. Forbes reported that she lost her billionaire status after giving away much of her earnings to charity. So she was charitable and she gave a lot of money and donations as charity. We can see it written here. There's this Forbes magazine picture with J.K. Rowling here as in the picture. And let us see what is written here. Lost her billionaire status. Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling is one of the first billionaires to fall off the Forbes billionaire list because of charitable giving. And she says, you have a moral responsibility when you have been given far more than you need to do wise things with it and give intelligently. So this is a great thought. We need to take inspiration from her. Rowling was appointed a member of the Order of the Companions of Honor, that is CH, in the 2017 birthday honors for services to literature and philanthropy. In October 2010, she was named the most influential woman in Britain by leading magazine editors. Rowling has supported multiple charities including Comic Relief, one-parent families, and multiple sclerosis Society of Great Britain, as well as launching her own charity, Lumos. As a child, Rowling attended St. Michael's Primary School, a school founded by William Wilberforce and educational reformer Hannah More. Her headmaster at St. Michael's, Alfred Dunn, has been suggested as the inspiration for the Harry Potter headmaster Albus Dumbledore. She attended secondary school at Weydene School and College, where her mother worked in the science department. Steve Eddy, her first secondary school English teacher, remembers her as not exceptional, but one of a group of girls who were bright and quite good at English. Rowling took A levels in English, French, and German, achieving 2 A's and a B, and was head girl. In 1995, Rowling finished her manuscript for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which was typed by an old manual typewriter. The book was submitted to 12 publishing houses, all of which rejected the manuscript. A year later, she was finally given the green light and a Euro 1500 advance by editor Barry Cunningham from Bloomsbury, a publishing house in London. The decision to publish Rowling's book owes much to Alice Newton, the 8-year-old daughter of Bloomsbury chairman, who was given the first chapter to review by her father and immediately demanded the next. Although Bloomsbury agreed to publish the book, Cunningham says that he advised Rowling to get a day job since she had little chance of making money in children's books. Soon after, in 1997, Rowling received a Euro 8,000 grant from the Scottish Arts Council to enable her to continue writing. We can see this is her first book, first in the series Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. In June 1997, Bloomsbury published Philosopher's Stone with an initial print run of 1,000 copies, 500 of which were distributed to libraries. Today, such copies are valued between €16,000 and €25,000. 5 months later, the book won its first award, a Nestle Smarties Book Prize. In February 1998, the novel won the British Book Award for Children's Book of the Year and the later Children's Book Award. In early 1998, an auction was held in the United States for the rights to publish the novel and was won by the Scholastic Inc. for $1,05,000. Rowling said that she nearly died when she heard the news. In October 1998, Scholastic published Philosopher's Stone in the US under the title of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, a change Rowling says she now regrets and would have fought if she had been in a better position at that time. Rowling moved from her flat with the money from the Scholastic sale into 19 Hazelbank Terrace in Edinburgh. Its sequel, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, was published in July 1998, and again Rowling won the Smarties Prize. In December 1999, the third novel, Harry Potter and the Prisoners of Azkaban won the Smarties Prize, making Rowling the first person to win the award 3 times running. Isn't it really great? The fourth book, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, was released simultaneously in the UK and the US on 8th of July 2000 and broke sales record in both the countries. 3,72,775 copies of the book was sold in its first day in the UK, almost equaling the number Prisoner of Azkaban sold during its first year. In the US, the book sold 3 million copies in its first 48 hours, smashing all the records. Rowling said that she had a crisis while writing the novel and had to rewrite one chapter many times to fix a problem with the plot. Rowling was named Author of the Year in 2000 British Book Awards. A wait of 3 years occurred between the release of The Goblet of Fire and the fifth Harry Potter novel, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Sixth book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, was released on 16th of July 2005. It too broke all the records, selling 9 million copies in its first 24 hours of release. In 2006, Half-Blood Prince received the Book of the Year prize at the British Book Awards. The title of the seventh and the final Harry Potter book was announced on 21st of December 2006 as Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. In February 2007, it was reported that Rowling wrote on the bust in a hotel room at the Balmoral Hotel in Edinburgh that she had finished the seventh book in that room on 11th January 2007. And we all know all these novels were then filmed and the films were a great hit. And here we have J.K. Rowling's commencement address at Howard University in the year 2008. And this is a very, very inspiring speech for all of us. The fringe benefits of failure and the importance of imagination. These two were the themes of her speech on this occasion. Let us see what she says. President Faust, members of Harvard Corporation, and the board of overseas members of the faculty, proud parents, and above all, graduates. The first thing I would like to say is thank you. Not only has Howard given me an extraordinary honor, but the weeks of fear and nausea I have endured at the thought of giving this commencement address have made me lose weight. A win-win situation. Now, all I have to do is take deep breaths, squint at the red banners, and convince myself that I am at the world's largest Gryffindor reunion. Delivering a commencement address is a great responsibility, or so I thought until I cast my mind back to my own graduation. The commencement speaker that day was the distinguished British philosopher Baroness Mary Warnock. Reflecting on her speech has helped me enormously in writing this one, because it turns out that I can't remember a single word she said. This liberating discovery enables me to proceed without any fear that I might inadvertently influence you to abandon promising careers in business, the law, or politics for the giddy delights of becoming a gay wizard. You see, if all you remember in years to come is the gay wizard joke, I have come out ahead of Baroness Mary Warnock. Achievable goals, the first step to self improvement. Actually, I have racked my mind and heart for what I ought to say to you today. I have asked myself what I wish I had known at my own graduation and what important lessons I have learned in the 21 years that have expired between that day and this. I have come up with two answers. On this wonderful day when we are gathered together to celebrate your academic success, I have decided to talk to you about the benefits of failure. And as you stand on the threshold of what is sometimes called real life, I want to extol the crucial importance of imagination. And she says, how to handle failure according to J.K. Rowling. Follow your dream. Take responsibility. Define your own success. Looking back at the 21-year-old that I was at graduation is a slightly uncomfortable experience for the 42-year-old that she has become. Half my lifetime ago, I was striking an uneasy balance between the ambition I had for myself and what those closest to me expected of me. I was convinced that the only thing I wanted to do ever was to write novels. However, my parents, both of whom came from impoverished backgrounds and neither of whom had been to college, took the view that my overactive imagination was an amusing personal quirk that would never pay a mortgage or secure a pension. I know that the irony strikes with the force of a cartoon anvil now. What I feared most for myself at your age was not poverty, but failure. At your age, in spite of a distinct lack of motivation at university, where I had spent far too long in the coffee bar writing stories and far too little time at lectures. I had a knack for passing examinations, and that for years had been the measure of success in my life and that of my peers. And then she has more of it on how she worked hard in the university writing novels. Let us see what else can motivate us in her speech. Ultimately, we all have to decide for ourselves what constitutes failure. But the world is quite eager to give you a set of criteria if you let in. So I think it fair to say that my any conventional measure, a mere 7 years after my graduation day, I had failed on an epic scale. An exceptionally short-lived marriage had imploded and I was jobless, a lone parent, lone means alone, that is single parent, and as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. The fears that my parents had had for me and that I had had for myself had both come to pass, and by every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that failure is fun. That period of my life was a dark one. And I had no idea that there was going to be what the press has since represented as a kind of fairy tale resolution. I had no idea then how far the tunnel extended and how far a long time any light at the end of it was a hope rather than a reality. So, why do I talk about the benefits of failure? Simply because failure meant a stripping away of the inessential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was and began to direct all my energy into finishing the only work that mattered to me. Had I really succeeded at anything else, I might never have found the determination to succeed in the one arena I believed I truly belonged. I was set free because my greatest fear had been realized, and I was still alive, and I still had a daughter whom I adored, and I had an old typewriter and a big idea. And so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. Failure gave me an inner security that I had never attained by passing examinations. Failure taught me things about myself that I could have learned no other way. I discovered that I had a strong will and more discipline than I had suspected. I also found out that I had friends whose value was truly above the price of rubies. So, given a time turner, I would tell my 21-year-old self that personal happiness lies in knowing that life is not a checklist of acquisition or achievement. Your qualification, your CV are not your life, though you will meet many people of my age and older who confuse the two. Life is difficult and complicated and beyond anyone's total control, and the humility to know that will enable you to survive its vicissitudes. Now, you might think that I chose my second theme, the importance of imagination, because of the part it played in rebuilding my life, but that is not wholly so. Though I personally will defend the value of bedtime stories to my last gasp, I have learned to value imagination in a much broader sense. Imagination is not only uniquely human capacity to envision that which is not, and therefore the fount of all invention and innovation. In it, arguably, most transformative and revelatory capacity, it is the power that enables us to empathize with humans whose experiences we have never shared. And then she goes on to talk about those people and their imaginations. And many prefer not to exercise their imaginations at all. They choose to remain comfortably within the bounds of their own experience, never troubling to wonder how it would feel to have been born other than they are. They can refuse to hear screams or to peer inside cages. They can close their minds and hearts to any suffering that does not touch them personally. They can refuse to know. And then she goes on more. But she says, one should imagine and follow imaginations too. And we all have seen her, uh, in the series of her books, the way she has imagined things, people, the way they are fighting, flying on the brooms, and the list is endless. At the end of her speech, she says, I'm nearly finished. I have one last hope for you, which is something that I already had at 21. The friends with whom I sat on the graduation day have been my friends for life. They are my children's godparents, the people to whom I have been able to turn in times of trouble, people who have been kind enough not to sue me when I took their names for Death Eaters. At our graduation, we were bound by enormous affection, by our shared experience of time that could never come again, and of course, by the knowledge that we held certain photographic evidence that would be exceptionally valuable if any of us ran for Prime Minister. So today, I wish you nothing better than similar friendships. And tomorrow, I hope that even if you remember not a single word of mine, you remember those of Seneca, another of those old Romans I met when I fled down the classic corridors in retreat from the career ladders, in search of ancient wisdom. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. I wish you all very good lives. Thank you very much. Such an inspirational speech it was, where she wanted people, the graduates, to know that passion is very important. Following your passion, living up your dreams is more important, more successful in life, and failure is indeed the first step to success. Here's a very, very nice picture of all the characters of Harry Potter series with J.K. Rowling. I hope you all enjoyed this session of mine. We will meet next Wednesday with another inspirational character. Till then, let us again ponder to what J.K. Rowling said. Let us work on our failures. Let us always feel that failure is the first step to success. Do take good care of yourself. Goodbye.